So we'll call this one Walking Away. And in true Watson fashion, I'm going to cover a range of issues here. The first one concerns a channel, in fact my favourite channel on YouTube, run by a guy called Lee, and the channel's called Veritas Vincit. And yesterday he announced that he's going to quit, and I feel very sad about this, because I feel sad about him walking away, because 100% he's entirely authentic. There's a lot of controlled channels on there on YouTube, and it's very, very difficult to discern authentic ones from ones that aren't. And I'm just absolutely 100% sure that he's authentic, because he doesn't have his channel monetized, he's not shilling for money, doesn't sell merchandise or anything else like that. And then the other big thing is just his content. He's very incisive. He's one of the life's social observers, and he's quite perceptive and analytical, and I'll miss his content greatly. As I say, I think he also understands that we are living in a spiritual a battleground. There is this battle going on between good and evil. So I'll leave a link to his channel, and I understand why he's walking away. I completely understand that, but just from my point of view, it's a shame. I'll miss watching his content, his material. The second topic is also about walking away, but something entirely different. Sometimes I believe it's absolutely essential that we choose to walk away from things that we once loved, things that have become corrupted. And make no mistake about this, we were born with free will. Free will is a very, very important concept. And you might have really enjoyed a certain something in the past. So what I'm talking about here is, use an example of football and what's going on at Manchester United. That is a club that was taken over by the Glazers family, and they borrowed money against the club's assets and loaded the club up with debt. And basically they did it entirely for money-making reasons, using loopholes in things that were technically legal but completely immoral things to do. And basically they've been taking the mickey out of football supporters, and it's not unusual, this type of behaviour. It happens an awful lot. Now my feeling here is that what should Man United fans do? And my belief is that they have to walk away. They have to walk away from the thing that they love that's become corrupted. There is no way out of that unless they withdraw their support, which means no longer going along to matches, no longer buying merchandise. That's the only thing that they can do to try to resolve the situation. And if that means giving up going to watch the club that they love for a while, and then that's what they have to do. So sometimes walking away is actually a very, very tough thing to do, because it involves giving things up. In contrast, the weak thing to do is just to stay where you are and just suck things up and continue to support something that's become corrupted. Yeah, and I think what evil relies on a lot of the time is that people are just too weak to take a temporary hit, because walking away from something involves a temporary hit. You're no longer going to somewhere that you really liked, or doing things that you once previously liked. You're having to walk away from it on a matter of principle because it's become corrupted. Obviously there's links there with the Soviet Union. Many people gave up professions that had become corrupted, that it's quite tough for them in the short run, but it was the right thing to do. So I guess another way of looking at this same thing is do you have integrity? Do you have principles that are non-negotiable? And once those principles have been broken, are you prepared to walk away, even if it means incurring some pretty awful short-run costs? The third topic is to tell you about a book that I read over the last week called The Unknown Soldier. It's a pretty famous Finnish book. There's English translations of it available, so I'll post the link up to one of those now. Yeah, and it's a very, very sad book about a bunch of ordinary Finnish guys who basically, they don't walk away, they follow orders and become conscripts in the Finnish army during the War of Continuation from 1941 to 1944. And you know, again, what I'm saying here is this theme of walking away. Like, sometimes, well, with those guys, they would have got into a lot of trouble by walking away if they'd have walked away. But you know, they didn't. They complied because they weren't prepared to take a short-term hit. And you know, the book's desperately sad what happens to these guys. Last topic really is Starmer and what he's announced with, or is an intention anyway, you know, that he wants to send in the British Army as peacekeepers in Ukraine. Obviously this is just a ruse. I think initially when America sent its soldiers to Vietnam, I think that was initially as peacekeepers. So it's you know, there'll be false flag attacks if it happens. If British boots are on the ground, there'll be false flag attacks, and yeah, suddenly those peacekeepers will be engaged in armed conflict, which is exactly what the likes of Keir Starmer want. So again, will people, if there was to be conscription, would people be brave enough to walk away and not comply with evil? So yeah, final thought. So what I'm getting at here with this video is that sometimes walking away is absolutely the right thing to do, and it's also the brave thing to do as well. So yeah, I commend it. So yeah, that's all I want to say today. So God bless.